Cara, thank you so much for coming in today and talking to us. We are so pleased to have you. Cara Davies is from the University of Waikato and has done some research work for Volunteering Bay of Plenty, but I'm going to leave her to explain what she's studying and what that research piece of work was that you've done for us, which has come out as a brilliant white paper.
Hi Vanessa, thank you very much. I am currently studying at the University of Waikato in Tauranga. I am doing my Bachelor of Business, so majoring in Strategic Management and minoring in Politics.
Wonderful. And what were you researching for Volunteering Bay of Plenty?
So my main aim with this research paper was to try to uncover any of the social issues or needs that were within the Bay of Plenty 7 districts. So this was really to make sure that Volunteering BOP had a wonderfully holistic view of each community and can really strategize towards them all so they can offer the best services that they can.
Wonderful, and that is exactly what we wanted, so you're totally there. And what were the key findings of your white paper, Cara?
So unfortunately I did find some social issues amongst the Bay of Plenty. They actually do have the highest levels of social deprivation within New Zealand, which is a bit sad. Other issues were really surrounding drug and alcohol abuse, violence, gang involvement, and littering, which was an interesting one. Many people were very upset with the destruction of our environment through littering.
Right.
So definitely something that needs to be
That's a little bit of a surprise for us, isn't it?
Yes, for clean, green New Zealand, it is. Yes.
Yeah. So obviously Volunteering Bay of Plenty is working to address these needs through offering volunteering opportunities. And so some of those non-profits and the charities, they actually rely on volunteers to achieve their goals. And what were the areas that you found that we needed to address within our communities? What do non-profits need us to do?
So one big thing that was really brought up by a lot of the councils was the training needed for the volunteers. Many situations that they're thrown in can be quite extreme, especially if we're dealing with mental health issues.
Right.
So volunteers really need the training and support. So there's a lot of concern over volunteer well-being, which is something that I know Volunteering BOP really focuses on, is making sure volunteers feel safe, supported, and have the skills that they need to deal with the situations they find themselves in.
That's great. Your report also told us that there's a great need for more volunteers. So
Yes.
What motivates people to volunteer and what makes them hesitate? What are the barriers?
Well, one of the biggest wants for volunteers is they're really wanting to get out there, increase their skills. It's a great employment and opportunity and pathway, but it's also about feeling part of something, about giving back. So a lot of volunteers have said that they are really fulfilled. It's really amazing to become part of something. So for a lot of the older generation, for those that are retired, it gives them a sense of purpose and a sense of belonging.
Right. And why don't people come forward to volunteer?
So unfortunately, not many people completely understand the benefits of volunteering or really what's out there. So there are many different volunteering roles that anybody can do that they aren't quite aware of. And then of course there are other barriers, especially for the more youth-oriented, such as peer pressure. It's unfortunately not very cool in some areas to get into volunteering. But in saying that, a lot of research has said that the youth are a lot more motivated by family and friends who are already in the sector. So it's definitely an encouragement thing, and if we can make it become a bit more of the norm, definitely encourage more people into the sector.
That's great. So you talked earlier about not-for-profits needing that support with helping with systems and managing their volunteers. So that is very much evident out there still.
Yes,
Absolutely.
very much so.
Yeah, and we find that the older generation have been giving a lot of hours to volunteering. So I found that your comments in your report around the fact that young people need to be caught at an earlier age, and that education piece needs to come through around what volunteering is.
Yes.
So work to be done, right? What did you enjoy most about doing this project?
Well, I really enjoyed the people that I got to meet. It was really uplifting to meet so many wonderful people that truly want to give back to their communities. A lot of people out there would love to do more, but it is just that lack of general knowledge about this sector.
Right.
And I've had some wonderful experience with all the local councils who went out of their way to help me in this project. So yes, it was very uplifting to see So many amazing people truly want to see their communities thrive.
I'm pleased to work for you because it's worked for us. Thank you so much. Now, your research paper, your white paper, concludes with recommendations.
Yes.
Can you give me a quick rundown, please?
Right, well, a quick little rundown. So my first one was more of a youth focus. So like we spoke before, youths can be a little bit nervous with the peer pressure and wanting to remain cool while still helping. So maybe definitely connecting with schools, getting them while they're young, even trying to form partnerships with the schools to sort of get them into programs while they're young. So be definite. Then another need I uncovered was community and family events. So all the districts are very proud of their heritage. Plus, with a lot of immigrants coming to this country, we have so many different cultures that it really shouldn't be forgotten about. And we all want to celebrate our own cultures. There's definitely something that both the councils and individuals came back to me with, was they'd love fun, small events that celebrate who they are and where they come from.
Wonderful.
And then, of course, you've got your training packages. So this is a definite. Volunteering companies really, volunteers need to be trained. They need to make sure that they've got the skills and expertise to deal with any situation they fall in, which is something Volunteering for Air Plenty do amazingly at. And then last but not least was a marketing campaign. Really get the word out there about the benefits of volunteering, not just for the people on the other end, but for the volunteers themselves. It's an incredibly uplifting industry, and I'd love to see more people join.
That's great. Well, I'd love to see that too. And it just, it just underpins our work really wonderfully and our business strategy going forward. It really tells us that we're on the right track with volunteering for plenty. There is a need for a peak body. There is a need for thought leaders in this space, and I'm pleased that we can do that. I want to thank you again, Cara, for coming today, and thank you for your work, and thank you to the University of Waikato.
Thank you very much, Vanessa, for this opportunity.
Have a good day.
Thank you.